week, so let's get back to it, Brad.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, folks. I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical
Because
therapist.
we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
3 reasons your carpal tunnel syndrome is not getting better. We're going to show you some self-treatments that work.
Yeah, as a
Well,
matter.
they better work.
Well, my wife was just using one the other night.
Yeah, she's been struggling with this. Is it just one side or both sides?
Well, both, but I think one's worse than the other. But she was telling me.
Does she watch our videos?
Well, not yet. Some of them, but anyway, that's another story. Bob.
All right. By the way, if you're new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos on how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. Also, you're going to want to join us on our social media sites. We're on the Instagram now.
Oh, yeah.
I like to say that, Instagram.
Yeah.
Official Bob and Brad. You want to join us on Facebook, Bob and Brad? We're on Twitter. We got our website, Bob and Brad.
Like graham crackers.
Yeah, Instagram.
That's how I remember it.
Yeah.
Wow, I
Good
almost
for you,
got
Brad.
tripped.
All right, so today we're talking about the carpal tunnel syndrome, which is basically you got compression on the median nerve. The median nerve comes out of C5 through T1, somewhere in that area. It comes right down from your neck, goes down the front of the shoulder, down and into the hand. And generally, which fingers does it innervate, Brad?
The median nerve?
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about these two.
The thumb.
Would
that be the pointer?
Yeah. The
middle finger.
Right.
And ring finger, half of the ring finger.
Right. So if we're counting, you count the thumb number 1, 1, 2, 3, and half of 4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're getting pressure, generally with carpal tunnel syndrome, you can get pressure anywhere along the median nerve. Now, the typical place you're going to get it is right where the carpal tunnel is.
Right.
That's in the wrist, made up by a couple bones, and there's a ligament that goes over the top of it. But you could also...
Well, now people are going to get technical. They're going to say, well, I think there's 7 bones in the carpal.
Oh.
Whatever, it's a bunch of bones.
I meant a bunch of bones. But the other thing is you can actually get compression up here too. They have the double crush syndrome. And so we're going to talk about that today, where you may want to do some treatment up here also, in addition to treating it down here. Right,
because it's not very difficult or take long to do, and there's a good chance that you need some stretching up there anyways.
It's going to help, yeah. It's certainly not going to hurt. So we're going to start off with the exercises that you should try first if you have carpal tunnel. I've had some success with this. I've had some people that literally, didn't have to go in for surgery because of this.
Sure.
So,
and it's great. That's the goal.
It's great. So we're going to start off with nerve flossing. So I don't know, Brad, if you want to do this along with me or not, but you're basically going to take your arm out straight across like this. It's not down. It's not up. It's straight across. And you're just going to start working on bringing the wrist and the hand down like this.
So when you're doing that, you can keep going, Bob. But Bob had mentioned, this nerve comes out from the neck area. And that's when he was talking about the C7, the C6, or whatever level which we're coming out. And it's literally like a spaghetti that comes
that comes down.
Yep, under your clavicle by the first rib, and it goes all the way, and then it wraps around through that carpal tunnel and down into the hands and fingers. So when the hand goes down like this, it's literally pulling that nerve from there up, and so you're moving that nerve back and forth like a string.
Like you're flossing.
Yeah.
And that's why we call it flossing.
Yeah, watch this, Bob. So here's that nerve, and we're going back and forth. I'll get coordination with your hand movement. And so that nerve is actually being flossed within the sheath.
And what I have found, Brad, and maybe you found this too, but generally if like a person has it on one side and not the other, this one is tight. This one doesn't want to move. That nerve is not flossing like this, the other side is.
Yep. So compare right to left or vice versa.
So you're going to try this, and if you're getting a lot of symptoms, if it's making it worse, you got to back off and not do it as not do it as far.
Right.
The idea about this is not to flare up your carpal tunnel, but in the first day, I'd only probably do a set of 10.
So 10 times?
10 times. And the next day, I'd maybe do 2 sets of 10.
Right.
And then if those, you get to the point where those are really going quite well, you're getting the wrist quite down, far down. Now we can add in some neck movement along with it.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this, and we're going to go ahead and put your head off to the side like this, and you can actually do both at the same time if you want.
So the palm goes down, the head goes off to the side, which actually pulls and puts a little more stress on that nerve.
Right. Right. Or you can just, if you want to make it simple, you can just bend the head away and go like this.
Sure.
That
There-
might be a lot easier to coordinate.
There's that complicated thing where you kind of coordinate the movements.
Right, right.
But
That's what I'm thinking. This is going to be a lot easier just to pull your head over and go like this, and that's giving it a little more stretch. In fact, if you want to stretch it a little more, you can bring the arm back a little bit more like this.
Right, so
Brad's going to show you what I'm
this
doing.
way.
Yep. That'll put a little
gonna
more
put-
stretch on it.
so here is here, and then if we go back that way without moving the body, so it's not this, it's this.
Perfect. So if that gets to be too easy, you do 2 sets a day for a while, and like that feels fine now.
Sure.
Then we're going to go ahead and you need a wall. And Brad and I are going to build a wall right now. Build that wall.
Oh yeah, there you go.
No political affiliations here,
Yeah,
folks.
yeah,
No political
absolutely. We
affiliations.
don't want to go
Yeah,
there.
We don't want to go there. But what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to put the hand against the wall, and you're going to again stay somewhat level here. I'm going to be a little higher like this. And now you're just going to move the head away.
So this stabilizes the wrist in
Yeah.
the stretched position.
I actually feel a little bit of symptoms there.
Is that?
I do.
Wow, Bob. Well, it's a good thing, a little maintenance
Yeah, we're
here.
doing this. I can feel a little bit in the thumb. Kind of weird. And
Yeah.
I'm not having troubles with this.
Right,
So-
just proof of the validity of
Yeah,
this
proof,
stretch.
yeah,
there
hey.
you go.
We were validated. All right, so that's flossing. The next thing I want you to try is just do some neck extensions.
Sure.
A lot of people, if this gets all crunched up, you can get some pressure on that nerve. So Brad, why don't you just show some neck extensions here? And you'll find quite often that you do have poor motion in that direction.
All right, so getting a good chair that's a firm chair with an upright back, scoot your bottom back in, good posture, shoulders back. You need to have a good base. You can start with a little chin tuck and then roll back and just see how this goes.
So look at this. He's stretching all this all out
Right.
here.
And I may even do this.
Especially if you're having symptoms up in here, along with symptoms
Yeah.
down here. This is really a great one to do it. Yep, he's helping you open up that whole area
Ooh.
there. So there's
Bring it
plenty of
back.
room for the nerves to go through and be happy. All right, let's go to the final one, Brad.
I just want to mention, Bob, on this, if you bring your head back and you're starting to get some pain that's kind of sharp, you're going to just back off on that and
yeah, you
and
just
hold
go to the
off.
point where you feel the pain and then come back again.
Right, so be cautious with that if needed.
Quite often what can be happening also is that the first rib could be pushing up against that median nerve.
Sure.
So this is the first rib stretch you do, and this is real simple to do. It actually feels really good. I don't know if you've done this one, Brad,
Oh,
but I've
yeah.
done this. So you just take a rolled towel or a rolled sheet. We got a little bit of tape around it just to keep it in place. And you're going to go ahead and throw it over your shoulder like this. And you're going to go ahead and pull down on both sides. Sometimes if it's real long, you can sit on it like Brad's doing right there.
Right there.
And you're going to pull down, and then you're just going to bend your head to the opposite direction. So I'm having symptoms on this side, on the left side, and I'm going to pull down and turn, pull away from the pain here. And that's pushing a little bit down on that first rib, giving a little motion to it. This is one that, like I said, this feels good doing it.
Oh, yeah, it does. I like it right now. Yeah, I like it when you sit on it, you get a firm chair. Your bed might be too
To
soft.
be honest, that is the better way to do it because otherwise you're using the arm that's giving you trouble.
Right, I can completely relax
Yeah.
this.
So this is a lot better way to do it. Is of course Brad ends up showing me up again. So
Well,
All right.
Bob, it's not hard.
it's not hard. All right. The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that the reasons you're getting carpal tunnel are going to be eliminated. So one of the reasons why people get carpal tunnel is if they got their screen too low and they're down like this and everything's getting pinched. You want to raise this up, and on someone like me, you want to have my eyes hit about the middle of the screen. So look how high that screen has to be. And believe it or not, at home, that's how high I have it.
Yeah, well, it
So-
should be.
And then the keyboard itself, you want to make sure that's not up. You want to make sure you're not on a sharp edge like
Right.
this. I've seen this quite often. People are typing off a sharp edge like that. And you want to make sure the keyboard is down to the point where your arm is actually vertical here, the upper arm. And this one can actually be horizontal or slightly lower than
Right.
horizontal. And-
But you definitely don't want it up.
Yeah, and some people go ahead and just put the keyboard on their lap, or they get one of those lap boards,
Sure.
to hold it, or they just have their desk set up at this height. So this makes a big difference, especially if you do a lot of typing on the a computer or some other device. I guess the iPads. What else do they all use nowadays?
I don't know, but I can't keep up with it. I'm just lucky I can use a keyboard.
All right, the final thing we're gonna have you do is you want to make sure at night that, if you don't mind, Brett, I'm gonna lay down here.
Well, take a nap. Why
Take
not?
a nap. You want to make sure at night that you're not curling up your arm, you're not laying on your arm. Let's say this is my involved side, and let's say, if you can avoid laying on the involved side, please do. Where's my mic? Right
Yeah,
there.
right there.
So you want to, lay on your back or lay on your other side. But if I go like this and I got my wrist curled up all night long, I got pressure on that median nerve
Right.
all night long. So one of the things that helps sometimes if you're bent on laying on that side, we do use an additional pillow here, and we create our canal here.
Ah, yes.
And this takes off some of the pressure off that arm. And you can lay it out flat like this, especially if you have a large bed and your spouse or partner is not going to give you the room. You can just lay it out like this and keep it flat all night long.
Could be the dog. Some people would sleep with their dog.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
But you don't want to have your spouse or your dog or your partner lay on.
Oh yeah, then you got the triple crunch.
Yeah.
Crunching that median nerve. Are we going to talk about the wrist brace yet?
Oh yeah, and then that's another thing to go ahead and try is to go ahead and use a wrist brace.
Right, and that keeps it comfortable. This is a really comfortable one. I've had it on for about 30 minutes now. I've forgotten about it.
Yeah, and
It's
your
really
wife's
nice.
using one right now too, right?
Well, at night, not right now. She's at work, but
Okay.
yeah.
Let's get literal about it. Here's another one. This actually holds the fingers up too. I think we have some of these in our not our Amazon recommended. I think on our website we have some of these recommended.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not
So-
sure, but they are handy. They just keep that wrist in a neutral position. It's real.
All right, we're about to ready to block out here. So
Oh yeah.
thanks everybody for watching.
Be careful.